you've probably seen the rebirth of the 3-3 Cub. It's a defense that's meta every single year, dating back to roughly Madden 20 when it first really started to become popular. Typically, this has been a defense where you just rush the front five and kind of mug with the center. And for whatever reason, this was not a very popular defense to start Madden 24. So let's go ahead and tackle this from all angles here, first showing you how this blitz is set up. Now, before I do that, make sure you guys are following this channel, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. Drop a comment below to help push this video out in the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me all year long and for the last 4 years here on this channel. We just had our best month ever in the month of May. I really am appreciative of all that. Let's keep this momentum rolling here. So the setup for the nickel through 3 Cub is pretty simple. You're going to put in whatever players you guys want. If you guys play Ultimate Team, you'll put your lurk artist at linebacker. If you guys are playing regs, it's going to be more of a blitz heavy defense, but it's still very, very good at shedding. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to recommend probably activating the free safety inside package, as I do in every single video. I know you guys are tired of me talking about it, but it is really, really important to be able to put your safeties in outside thirds, arguably the most important thing on defense. Now, with this particular defense, all you're going to do is shift your defensive line opposite of the running back, and you're going to crash your defensive line opposite of the running back. So in this case, the running back is on the left. I've shifted my defensive line to the right. To do this, you basically hit left, and then you flick the left analog stick to the direction you want to slide. Now we're going to crash them, which is left on the D-pad and then right on the right analog stick. And that's going to crash them that direction. Now, the important part here is your user. As we've always talked about in the 3-3, this is a very important player that you guys will want to kind of get down over the center. I would say kind of over his left shoulder. And you're just going to kind of hold the left trigger. This will help strafe in front of him, hold his attention. And you see right there that we almost got edge plus a gap off of this setup. And this is really what the 3-3 does so well. So if you take a look from the top down, I'm using number 43. When this ball snapped, I'm just kind of standing and strafing right here. The center has to look at me. That leaves the left side of our screen, the right from the offensive point of view, 3-on-2. So you see right here, they really struggled to pick this up. This would end up being dual pressure. It gets picked up super late, but by that time, we've already got one of the two guys in for a sack. So this is a pretty simple way to set this up. Now, if you guys know that they're going 5 out, you could shift your defensive line the other direction and crash them the other direction. That's totally up to you as well. This is more of an edge or B gap from the left of screen defensive end. So what you will typically notice with this is you get that guy coming through the B gap. Now right there, they kind of jumped into each other a little bit, but you saw that that guy came in free. I'll run another example here and show you this for consistency's sake. So again, you're kind of standing right here holding this trigger. You see right there, we got A gap or B gap on this play. It's a pretty consistent setup if your opponent is going 5 out. Now, the thing about this particular setup as well is that you may notice too, that if you have threat detector, if you have any type of ability that shows extra blitzers, you can with this, in fact, use the QB contain feature. This will help to kind of turn off those little exclamation points that appear when you have a ability that shows the blitzers on 3rd and 4th down. And it's going to kind of trick your opponent into poor setup. So you see right there, we're getting that B gap. Honestly, the contain rush kind of widens out the gaps just a little bit better for us anyways. So you've got this ability to kind of utilize contains, and your opponent might think, oh, well, he's not blitzing me. I don't see any extra blitzers on the play art. Now, right there, you saw that we had the B gap. He kind of ran into a guy and spun right there. But again, this is a pretty consistent blitz. It's very, very nice. And again, you guys will have the ability to kind of rotate your coverage. Keep in mind here with the 3 safety adjustments, this allows you to turn your cover 2 into a cover 3 cloud one direction, or maybe you guys can roll it the other direction. And you see right here that we've got this ability to kind of create some good coverage shells here with this. But again, the consistency of this is pretty tried and true. As long as you guys don't really run into each other, you're going to be just fine here. Now, how do you block this blitz, or really any blitz in Madden for that matter? You guys can check out gridirongameplans.gg, where I've got breakdowns for all the different metas in our vault. Over the course of the year, there have been so many blitz metas, whether it's 6-1, dollar A gap, the disengaged contain blitzes at the beginning of the year, the B-nog A gap, the nickel overflipped A gap. You guys name it, it is something we've talked about. And this tip is coming to you directly from gridirongameplans.gg. Now is the best time to take a look at the website. If you guys have not signed up at any point this year, you guys can pay just $9.95 to take a look at everything I've done all year long and make a decision about whether or not you want to lock in with us on our College 25 pre-sale. We're going to be hitting the ground running in College Football 25 with vault tips, just like you're going to see in the Madden section, offensive and defensive game plans. And you can join our members only Discord, which is the best tips community in Madden, that I assure you. Everyone is so helpful in there. It's chock full of great content that kind of elaborates on the stuff that's on the website or some of the stuff that's original off meta from our own members that have created stuff with vault tips. So definitely go in there and check that out. It's well worth the price of the website alone, but you guys get everything for $9.95. Now here's how we're going to block this. This is really, really simple. With this particular blitz pickup, you are always going to slide protect opposite of their defensive line shift. It's literally that simple. So you come out in this formation, chances are they're going to shift their defensive line to the right because that's the side opposite of the running back. Well, what we're going to do here is we are going to slide our protection opposite of that particular shift, which is to the left. We're then going to block the running back. You'll notice that when you slide protect and you block a running back, the running back goes opposite of the slide protection. So effectively what this does is it puts him one-on-one on the edge. So it doesn't really matter what side the running back is on. If you guys are super uncomfortable with the running back sliding across the quarterback's face to pick up a right-sided pressure, you could always put him on the other side and still slide protect the same direction. But now when we go ahead and snap this ball, you see that we've got a blitz pickup that's really, really good. And then we can hit our reads in the middle of the field, or based off of the coverage shell, set up other route combos that you might want to use to attack what your opponent is doing behind. So that is an example right there. Now let's go ahead and shift our defensive line to the other side, crash left here, and we'll even QB contain. So in this particular instance, we're going to block the running back, and because they've shifted their defensive line to the left, we are going to slide our protection to the right. So with this, we're going to hit L1 and right on the right stick. That slides our protection to the left. Now, ideally with this, if you guys are not picking this up, you might even slap the ID the mic on the left outside linebacker. This will help with the running back identifying who he needs to rush. And again, look at our protection. We've got time. We can make this happen here in the middle of the field. So pretty easy stuff. Now from there, you guys are really well set up. I would say that if you guys are going to block a tight end, it needs to be on the side of the shift. That's going to make things a little bit tougher because your opponent could just look for a tight end if you have one tight end in the formation and be able to shift their line left or right opposite of the tight end. So I wouldn't recommend using the tight end to pick this up unless you know you can get them on the side of the defensive line shift. I find that if you try to motion a tight end, they're going to shift their line the other direction and crash the other direction. You motion to chase that, they're going to shift it back the other direction and crash it the other direction. So that cat and mouse game is just not worth it to me. Really, at the end of the day, the best way to work with this is far and away with the running back. Now, if this irritates you in terms of, well, I don't want to use a running back to pick up a 5-man pressure, I do want to give you guys another outlet that you guys could utilize here with this. I'm actually going to show you two different things that you guys could utilize. So with this, let's go ahead and kind of play off of the B gap on the left side. They're shifting left, crashing left, and QB containing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the running back check and release route. If you have a hot route master, this is going to give you guys a block and release hook, which can be nice as well. But you guys have the stock hot route. If you hit Y and then the receiver icon and you flick the right analog stick down, you'll have this check and release. What this does is it basically is going to block a guy off the edge and then release into the flat. So this is actually a nice little way that you guys can still set up your protection, slide protect opposite of the defensive line shift. So we're going to shift our line to the right here because their defensive line went left. And then we're just going to ID the mic on this guy. What that's going to do is that's going to tell the running back, hey, block him and then release. So you see right there in this example, he just basically holds up long enough that this allows you to, kind of mirror it. Now in that example, he kind of left early. Again, this can be a little bit of the pain in the rear in terms of getting your guy to actually make contact, but this is especially useful if you guys are dealing with a cover 0 blitz. Allow me to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So in a regular example of a cover 0 blitz with this, if they're running this little B gap and then just kind of lurking in the middle of the field, because they have a safety manned up on the running back, what that's going to do is if I just block this running back and slide protect and ID, this is going to drop that safety on the left into a middle third. third, which basically turns this into a cover one blitz. This could be a little bit of a pain just because you end up with, you know, a zone in the middle of the field. If you're playing Mutt, that could be a zone KO that might be able to break on a throw and knock it out. And realistically, with cover zero, you really want the ability to just win on a route and not have to worry about other people. So with the block and release, this is actually super nice because what can occur is you could just kind of pseudo guard this by using the check and release. So in this case, I'm going to put that check and release on the field. I'm going to slide protect to the right. I'm going to ID left, and I want you to watch what that left safety does. Because this running back is technically on a check and release route, the safety knows that, and he bites down immediately into the middle of the field as if he knows that that's going to occur. So when it comes to this here, if we go ahead and snap this ball, you're going to see that he's just going to kind of play that zone, and then that's going to open up the middle of the field more. So that way you can hit your crossing routes, your posts, your things like that. It's just going to give you just enough time that you guys can utilize this. Again, it doesn't matter so much that, you know, the running back stays and blocks this guy as much as he just gives you this time to get this hot read off. Because at this point, I'm probably setting up zigs, slants, posts. I could have hit this over the top. Lob streak to Tyreek Hill here off the press. There's a lot of different things we could have done here if we were focused on the routes here against the cover zero, but I just wanted to show you that little check and release trick that you guys can utilize. Now, there is one more example that you guys can utilize if you guys are trying to block this, and this is finicky. It can work some games, and other games it doesn't, and that is going to be to put the double team icon on the defensive end or the outside linebacker, whichever one you prefer. This is an old tactic that basically we used against 6-1 over the past couple of years. And we know that when we put this ID or this double team on there, we aren't really going to be able to get two guys out there, but we're going to try. So we're slide protecting that direction. We're getting the double team out there. You're just trying to get bodies out there. And you see how like it kind of picked it up a little bit. Again, I think we kind of had a disengage right there. This is why I'm saying it's a little bit finicky. When you do this, you might also pair this with an ID the mic on the defensive end. This could help kind of just isolate the offensive line to make sure that guys are not getting, you know, in right away. In this case, you're technically sending 5 out. So the hope is that you're finding just a dot, making this slow up as a pass rush as a whole. Again, kind of similar to the check and release where you're just like buying extra time, but not really actually putting extra resources into it. Again, these are just little tools that can slow up this pass rush. Sometimes that's just as valuable as blocking it all together. Is just giving yourself that extra second to get a read out, but still being able to send everybody out on a pattern. But again, if you have to block it, the tried and true is to block the running back, slide opposite of the defensive line, and ID the outside linebacker on that side. This will be your fail safe. It'll give you a pocket to always climb, and then from there make better reads than I just showed you. But that is today's video, guys. How to block the 3-3 Cub. It's definitely something you're gonna be seeing online a fair amount, possibly with a little bit of bottleneck as well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.